Hey guys, my name is Shamaya Wilkins. I will be presenting my findings of understanding the developmental period of young children. Got my words twisted there for a minute. Social emotional development, birth to 2 years old. You will notice around 2 months old, your baby will start to smile when they're talked to. They'll start to calm down when you pick them up. They'll make sounds to grab your attention around 4 months old. They'll also start to chuckle, laugh around 4 months old, and they're familiar with the consistent caregivers in their lives. Around 9 months old, they'll begin to notice strangers. This is what I call stranger danger. I work in early childhood, so working in the infant room is not fun when they get to that stage. They will start to respond when their name is being called. Around 1 year old, they'll start playing peekaboo with you or other kind of games. Around 2 years old, they'll begin to notice when their friends are hurt or when they're sad. And then around 2, they're also wanting to see what your reaction is going to be. Language development, birth to 2 years old. Around 2 months to 4 months old, they start making cooing sounds. They'll start turning their heads towards the sounds in a room. They'll make sounds going back and forth with you around that age also. Around 1, they'll start waving. And then around 9 months old, they'll start making the ma 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 and the da 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 sounds. Language, birth to 2 years old. Around 9 months old, you'll see that they'll start raising their arms up for you to pick them up. They'll begin to understand what no means around 1. Around 2 years old, they'll point to their body parts when you name them. When you ask, oh, where's your nose? They'll point to their nose. They also like to point to pictures in books. Cognitive development for 2-year-olds, birth to 2-year-olds, around 2 months old, they'll start looking at toys or things around the room. Around 4 months old, you'll notice that they will open their mouth when the bottle nipple or a nipple is towards their mouth to eat. Around 4 months old, they'll start wanting to put things in their mouths like toys, their feet, their hands. Around 1, they'll start banging things together or on furniture. It can get pretty loud. Around 2 years old, they will start putting things in containers and taking container lids off. Movement, the arms and legs are moving from birth to 2 months old. Around 4 months old, they can hold their heads without support. Around 6 months old, they can roll from belly to back and back to belly. They can start sitting up on their own around 9 months, and they pull to stand around 1 year old, and they will begin to kick balls around 2 years old. Social emotional development for 3 to 5 years old, they will begin to play with other children. Around with like 2 and 1 years old, they do more of a parallel play. But once they're 3 and 5 years old, they're wanting to engage with other children and wanting to have other children engage in their play. They also like to pretend play around 3 years old with the costumes and pretend to be mommies and daddies and doctors and bus drivers. They like to comfort their friends, especially if they're hurting or they're sad. They like to say, oh, what's wrong? Do you want a hug? Around this time, around 5, they'll start following the rules more. They also will avoid dangerous situations, and they'll also remind their friends that they're not supposed to do something because it's dangerous. They like to put on little shows, like little puppet shows. Some of my friends in my class like to put on puppet shows, or they like to dance, or they like to sing and put on a concert. It just depends on the day. Language development for 3 to 5 years old. 3-year-olds will go back and forth with you in conversation, but you may only get 2 exchanges. They start to ask questions like the who, where, when, and why questions. The 4-year-olds will start to use 4 more words in their sentences. They're also able to answer simple questions like, where's your shoe? Or where's the dog? Things like that. 5-year-olds will go back and forth with you in conversations. You'll usually get about 3 exchanges back and forth, and they will start recognizing rhyming words. And once they realize that they know rhyming words, they will go all day. Cognitive development, 3 to 5 years old. A 3-year-old will avoid danger only when they are warned. It's like they don't have any kind of sense of danger. 3-year-olds will also begin to mimic what someone is drawing, like circles or a triangle. They will start mimicking that on their own paper. 4-year-olds will start to name a few colors, and I'm pretty sure that the 2-year-olds and 3-year-olds will be able to name colors too. 4-year-olds will start to tell stories, and the 5-year-olds will begin to recognize the numbers 1 through 10 and be able to count 1 through 10. They will also be able to begin to write their name and recognize the letters in their name, and they will be able to sit at least 10 minutes for group time, or large group. Movement and physical development of 3 to 5-year-olds, they will want to start dressing themselves and putting on their own clothes. You'll also notice that they will be able to lace things. In my classroom, we have lacing beads and lacing cards, and they will be able to string the thread into the holes. They will be able to catch balls, and they'll be able to button and unbutton their clothing. Development of 6 to 8 years old. I have an 8-year-old, so I'm seeing kind of some of these things in him. They start to show more independence. They want to talk about their future and what's happening in the future. They also are wanting to have many friends around this time. Cognitive development, they are showing their mental skills and their mental capabilities at this age. They like to describe their experiences and what's happening in their lives. They also like to talk about their feelings and what they're thinking about. And they also start to show less focus on themselves and more focus on others and how others are feeling and what others are thinking about. Bilingual and multilingual, I found out that children's brains are flexible at this time. They're like little sponges, so they can soak up every little thing. Most things good, and hopefully nothing bad. Children can detect language changes at 6 months old. Children that are 18 months old, if they are bilingual, can have up to 50 words with both languages combined. A 2-year-old can have 200 to 300 words combined with their bilingual languages, and a 3-year-old can have up to 1,000 words with both languages. For 3 to 5 years old, this is the best time to learn a second language. The little brains are able to absorb so much information in so little time. They will also have a stronger vocabulary as they grow, and you should be able to understand them by this age most of the time. I know some kids will still have some mispronounced words, but you should be able to understand what they're saying. At between 4 years old and 8 years old, children that are bilingual are receptive to learning. They're wanting to learn. They'll be able to show empathy towards others and others' cultures by learning 2 different languages, and their cognitive development is at an all-time high at this time of their life. The child that I am doing my key assessment on is 5 years old. Um, her linguistic status, she speaks English. She does not have any other language in her family that is spoken. Her temperament is good for the most part. She gets a little upset when her friends don't do what she wants them to do. I know her mother said their parenting styles, her and dad's parenting styles are the same. They do not live together, so the child I have does not have a two-parent household. But I know she says that they have the same parenting techniques. They both spank and they both talk to the child and do timeouts with the child. Culture, I know they go to church and they're really big on family and spending time with family. They go on a lot of vacations. That's their tradition, is usually vacations and hanging out with family members. Community, we really haven't spoke about community. I know she said they just moved into a better neighborhood to get her children into a safer neighborhood on that part. So the child that I am doing my key assessment on, her social emotional development is kind of where it needs to be. She does follow the rules for the most part. She's wanting to put on a show for you, like dancing and singing and things like that. Her language, she is able to answer questions and ask questions. She's able to go back and forth with you with at least 3 exchanges. She does recognize the letters in her name. She right now those are the only letters she's able to recognize from the alphabet. She can write her name also. She's able to hop on one foot. She's able to button her own clothing. She's able to sit in group time or large group for at least, I would say, 6 minutes. Our goal is 10 minutes with her. And that's all I have for you guys. Thank you.